Hello all you nerds out there, how you guys doing today? You guys good? Alright, so it's about 2 o'clock in the morning. I'm currently at a place I'm getting unloaded, so if I bounce around a little bit, that's why they're back there unloading me. I'm currently in Illinois, and yeah, it's hasn't been bad last couple days, so hopefully everyone else is doing good. Let's see. Valentine's Day is right around the corner, you know. Obviously, I won't be home for that. My wife isn't a big fan of Valentine's Day anyway. You know, she finds it to be kind of cheap and kind of a useless holiday, you know. So, but I decided I'm going to talk about one of my favorite love stories today, which is Beauty and the Beast. I absolutely love it. It's one of my favorite fairy tales. It's one of my favorite movies. I loved the animated movie that Disney did back in 1990. I love the live-action version that they did a few years ago with Emma Watson. And I've watched and read many different renditions of Beauty and the Beast. And I just think I just really love that story, you know. So I'm going to go through some of my favorite renditions of the story. For those of you who don't know, the original story is kind of different from the Disney version. So in the original version, Belle is actually the daughter of a merchant who was once very rich, but unfortunately ended up losing much of his wealth in a bad business deal when he sunk all of his fortune into ships taking goods, and they all sunk. So he ended up losing his fortune. They moved to a cottage, and Belle has 2 or 3 sisters, 3 brothers. So, and Belle is the youngest, but also the kindest of them. So one day, father learns that one of his ships returned. So his children are thinking that their fortunes returned. So when he goes into town, he asks them what they want, and the sons want swords, and and the daughters want good clothes, and they want all these fancy things. And the only thing Belle wants is a rose. So, and she gets made fun of for by her siblings. So father goes back into town, but it's not enough. But unfortunately, his ship is seized, and because he has to pay off his debts. So he's basically still penniless, and as he's traveling home, he is I can't remember if it's a storm or lost, but basically he finds his way to a castle with invisible servants, and he's fed, he's bathed, he sees no one, and as he's leaving, he sees all these gifts, everything that his children asked for. And so he takes the stuff, and as he leaves, he remembers what Belle wanted, just a simple rose. He sees some roses there in the garden. He decides he's just going to pick one, and that's when the Beast appears and tells him that, in exchange for the rose, he has to give him his daughter. So that's the basic premise of the story, and he does that. Belle comes to the castle, and she's treated very nicely. And basically every night the Beast asks Rose if she will marry him. She says no. Then one day she goes home. She doesn't return. She sees him in a magic mirror. Sees him ill. Comes back. Professes her love. He changes into Ranger Prince. Yada yada yada. You guys know the basic premise of the story. So, but yeah, I am, like I said, I really love that fairy tale. I really love the different renditions of it. My favorite live-action version of the film was a French production, which basically followed this plot line a little bit, with the exception of, they actually showed the Beast kind of being an asshole. So, it was a very nice rendition, very nice telling of it. I forget the names of the people who were in it, though, and I forget when it was made. However, you can look it up. I can picture the actress who played Belle, and I know a couple of the movies that she's been in. She played in Spectre. She played the Bond girl. She played Mr. White's daughter, I believe, in Spectre, one of the Daniel Craig James Bond films. And she also played Queen Isabel in 2010's Robin Hood with Russell Crowe. She played Prince John's wife, or second wife. And then there's a movie called Blue is the Warmest Color. Do not let your kids watch this movie. All right, do not let your kids watch this movie. It's called Blue is the Warmest Color. She's the girl with the blue hair. All right, so just if you want, look that movie up. It's that actress. Okay, she's in it. She's in this Beauty and the Beast. She plays Belle. Does a fantastic job, and it's wonderful to watch it in French, because French is the original language of Beauty and the Beast. So yeah, those are the main live action ones that I've seen. And in terms of books, we have the A Court of Thorn and Roses series by Sarah J. Maas, Maas. I've never heard her last name pronounced, so I just say Sarah J. Maas. Okay. Basically, kind of follows a lot of the same premises. Father was a rich merchant, lost his fortune. No sons, only the 3 daughters, and it is very different. So I would highly recommend this. It's a series, but you also kind of find out in like book 2, it's really a Beauty and the Beast 2 times over. So you'll find out what I mean after that. So like I said, I absolutely love the series. I haven't read I don't think I've read the last book in its entirety yet. But I really probably should. I don't know if even another book has come out since the last one that I know of. So I need to catch up with that series. And then let's see. So I had to look through my notebook here, and I found a few more. We have East by Edith Pattou, Pattou. I don't know if I wrote that down correctly. I could be wrong. But in that one is more like a Nordic fairy tale, because the beast is actually kind of a large white bear, and it has an evil troll queen kind of a thing, and it's just very different. I really love it. I read it multiple times when I was younger. I wonder how they did with an audiobook of that. That would be kind of interesting. You also got Beast by Donna Jo Napoli. Hopefully I pronounced that right. Napoli. This one it follows it from the Beast's perspective, whereas a lot of these go from Belle's perspective. And in this one, it follows a Persian prince who wrongs a fairy and ends up being turned into a lion. Which, for some reason, when I was a kid and I pictured him as a lion, I always pictured it without a mane. I don't know why, but I realize now it's like, yeah, he should have a mane. Why was I always picturing him without a mane? But yeah, so he was turned into a lion. He runs away and finds this abandoned, castle, basically. And yeah, basically he just kind of it follows the same principle as the rest of the fairy tale. So he gets Belle to come. He gets a merchant to have his daughter come to him. They fall in love. He finds a way to communicate with her. So it's actually very interesting. Trying to find ways around it. So it's just kind of wonderful. It's just a really nice way. Just really kind of an interesting take on this. And then you have Beastly by Alex Flint. This was also made into a movie. I forgot about that. I know the movie has Vanessa Hudgens. I forget the name of the actor. I know he was kind of big, kind of back in the early 2000s time. But basically this follows, once again from the Beast's perspective, this follows a kind of a rich asshole. He's a teenager. It's a teen thing. It's a teen book and movie. But basically, he's a high school. He's a high school kid, and he's kind of an asshole. He's obsessed with his looks because that's how his father kind of raised him to be. And so one day he plays a prank on a girl who is very weird, and she doesn't like get angry or sad. In fact, she kind of reveals herself to be a witch and places him under a curse where he's turned into a beast. In the book version, he turns into kind of like this big wolfish creature. In the movie, they made him bald and gave him like ugly scars kind of a thing. It was very different. I wasn't a big fan of that, because honestly he didn't really look all that bad in the movie. It's like he wasn't really all that beastly. They also kind of depowered him a bit in the movie because in the book, he was stronger, faster, I mean, he was, big animal at this point. So it was actually kind of interesting. And if you've never seen, and what's interesting about the book, unlike the movie, is that in the book, it's kind of interspersed with like this internet online chat room for people under a curse, and he's talking to these people, and it's not like one long conversation. It's like several conversations that take place over a span of, I don't know, probably like several months or whatnot. And some of the other people on chat are kind of like, you kind of figure out that, oh, these are the other fairy tales of people who were placed under curse, because you got a frog, you've got Little Mermaid, you got Princess and the Frog, you got Little Mermaid. I can't remember any of the other ones, I just remember those two. So that was actually very interesting to read. But yeah, and let's see, I'm trying to think if there's anything else, any other book. I went through this notebook a little bit, tried to find something that maybe kind of fit the kind of fit that Beauty and the Beast narrative. I wasn't really able to come up with much, but so hopefully, hopefully you guys give these books a try. They're all very good. The movies are also good. Give them a try as well. One last thing though, because I hear this all the time when it comes to Beauty and the Beast. All right, especially the Disney version. Like a lot of people like to point to the Disney version as being all about Stockholm syndrome. It is not. All right, I'm getting sick and tired of this. Let's debunk this now. It is not Stockholm syndrome, because especially if you watch, the animated and the live action version of the Disney movie, Stockholm syndrome is where the kidnappee starts identifying with the kidnapper. But you'll notice in both these versions, Belle never really changes. There's no shift in her personality. There's no drastic change. There is, however, a drastic change in the Beast. So what this really is, and I really hope I'm remembering the name of this correctly, it's not Stockholm syndrome, it's Lima syndrome, which was named after an incident in Lima, Peru, where the kidnapper starts to identify with the kidnappee. So it's actually the other way around. So there you go. So can we please stop with this fucking Beauty and the Beast is about Stockholm syndrome, please? Because it actually isn't. So there we go. But yeah, you guys be good, have fun, give these a try, watch these movies if you want. I'm really sorry I couldn't remember some of these other people's names. But yeah, you guys be good, have fun, and I will catch you guys later.